Hi, Ray Hayden here, and this video is part of the Creators Helping Creators series that I'm making, and I hope you're not tired of it yet. That's right, I'm jumping right back into copyright strikes. I'm not talking about the community guidelines violations. A community guideline violation is going to have a warning. These are copyright strikes. Copyright strikes do not get warnings. You get a strike, okay? This is what I think is going to happen because today happens to be the 24th of February, 2019. Tomorrow is the 25th of February, 2019, and this is when this goes into effect, all right? We need to keep ourselves all cleaned up now. And again, I'm not going to talk about the community guideline strikes, things like thumbnails and titles and things like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about copyright strikes. These go directly to strikes. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Here's the deal. This is what's going to happen, all right? Tomorrow, people are going to get hit with a strike. A whole lot of people are going to get nailed, probably tomorrow. They're probably gearing up to hit them right now. It's going to get a copyright strike. You're going to be locked out of your account for a week, and you're going to have a 90-day clock ticking on your account somewhere, right? Somewhere up here. If it's in YouTube Studio, it's going to be a card like these things here. All these little boxes are cards. You're going to be a card on there ticking down to 90 days of your probationary period, right? If you have Creator Studio, there's probably going to be some bright red or maybe a yellow icon or something. There's going to be some kind of a notification up above that you got a strike against you for copyright. It's going to be in our face. We're going to know about it, right? So I think that a whole lot of people are going to get locked out of their account for a week. So maybe YouTube's going to slow down for a week, starting tomorrow. And they have the 90-day clock ticking on them. They're going to come back from that week. A lot of these people, they either don't know, don't care, or don't care to know. All right. So they're going to come back from that week suspension. They're going to get hit with a 2-week suspension and a second strike. It's going to happen. I guarantee. I promise you, this is going to happen. Right. And it's going to be justified. Both of these are going to be justified. Again, people that don't know, don't care, or don't know to care, or don't care to know. Right. That's what's going to happen. After that 2 weeks, whoever's left who still doesn't care to know is going to get whacked with a third strike, and their account's going to be terminated like nobody's business. It's going to happen. All right. So let's talk about 5 points here. They're very important, and we need to be aware of these. We may or may not be aware of some of them, but we may not be aware of all of them. And by the way, there's a whole lot more than what I'm going to talk about here. So let's go through it real quick. Number one, when does a copyright begin? Fact of the matter is, I'm going to use the context of us as a YouTube creator. We're making a YouTube video. We're publishing it on YouTube, and that's what it's going to be about, right? That's the way I'm doing it. So when does a copyright begin? The moment your work is fixed in a tangible form. So in reality, the minute you shot the video, right? But in reality, it's going to be, you want a date and time stamp on that thing when the thing happened, maybe with your name and your voice on it and all that kind of stuff, or your original work. When we hit that publish button, that's going to be the best evidence there, probably, of when the copyright was born, all right? So when we hit publish, the copyright's born, and we don't need to register it anywhere, anytime, ever, okay? It's automatic. You've already copywritten your material because you published it, all right? When it's fixed in a tangible form, the copyright is born, all right? That's a good saying, just made that up. Anyways, who owns the copyright? Well, it's our original work. Like this video right here, even though it's got other things on it and stuff like that, none of this stuff is probably going to be, I'm talking about this very stuff, all right? So here's the deal. I am the original creator of this particular video and all the videos on my channel, right? So because I am the original creator, and I publish the videos, I am the copyright holder. I own the copyright, all right? So who owns the copyright? You do, right? We do. As a creator, we own the copyright of our videos. We need to make sure that they're original works of art. We're not ripping anybody off. We're not, cheaters. We're not spammers, scammers, dirty, rotten scoundrels. We're doing it the right way, every day, every way, right? We're doing things legally, morally, and ethically correct, right? So that's it. So we own it. And again, it is born when we hit the publish button, and we don't have to renew that. Not only do we not have to register it, we don't have to renew the copyright. As a matter of fact, copyright outlives us. So if you've been monetized on YouTube and you got you're making a little bit of money on the side there, right, on your YouTube videos because you're monetized, that outlives us by 70 years. 70 years. It's a whole nother lifetime, right? So because this thing outlives us, it becomes part of our estate. That's why there's a whole lot of people out there who are making more money after they've died than they did while they were alive, all right? That's how that works. That's because they own copyrights, all right, while they were alive. And they're dead, so they're still making money. Anywho, so that's that one there. Now, let's go into this point number 3 here. Does it matter if you attribute the use of the copyrighted material to the holder and your video is not monetized? And that answer is no. It doesn't matter. Whether you're monetized or not has nothing to do with it. Any publishing of the copyright holder's original work diminishes their ability to earn income from their original work. Here's the deal. Let's say, for example, I was listening to a video this morning, and it was like the national anthem for copyright, and I wanted to use that in my video. Well, I'm not going to monetize my video, but I'm going to use that music in there, and I'm going to give attribution to the original artist for their music. They're going to be an international superstar one day. We all can tell just by hearing the music. It's fantastic. But I didn't monetize, and I gave them an attribution. I even linked to their website and tell everybody to go buy all their music, and they do, right? And they make this person millions of dollars off of my video because I said, hey, go buy that stuff. I still violated their copyright, and I still diminished their ability to earn income from that original work. There's a whole lot of funny things in law. I'll talk about that later for law students that I make videos for, all right? Anyways, so that's number 3. Let's talk about number 4. What if you did? Like say, for example, I wanted to use that national anthem for copyright, right? And I got permission. I got a release. That's what it's called, a release. So I got the release, the authorization to use the copyrighted material. I need to know what that authorized use, and specifically, I need to know the restrictions for that use, right? It should only be for a very specific purpose, all right? So maybe let's go to the copyright, the Mojo music for my copyright video, and I say, hey, I want to make this video on copyright, want to use their music, and the copyright holder says, yes, you can, all right? And they say, yes, you can use it for that video. You got to publish it on the 24th of February. So it gets out there for everybody because I agree with you. I want everybody to be knowing about this. And you can use it for your video published on that date. And the run time of the video to be determined once it's published, right? So meaning when the published length, because it might change by a second or two by the time you upload it to YouTube. Or it might also be for some editing. There might be a second or two difference or whatever. So once it's uploaded, then we fill in the blank on that and sign off on everything. And everything's cool. Everything's on the up and up, and everything's legal, moral, and ethical. Now, if I want to edit my video and put it on some other platform, can I do that? Well, if I didn't get that put in a release, then no, I can't. Even if I put the same video on another, like I put it on, specifically I put it on Facebook or Twitter or something else, and not linking it back to YouTube, which I probably could do because I'd make sure it's in a release, but to share the link on other social media, but to actually share the video on other things or post it on my own website, I need to make sure I cover all those bases in my release. Otherwise, I could get in trouble on a copyright infringement because I exceeded the authorization for use. That gets kind of confusing and kind of convoluted. If you're going to get authorization for somebody to use their copyrighted material, you need to make sure that you are following along with the original purpose of the release and that you don't violate the release because, again, you can get hit with a strike. And that kind of strike would probably happen real fast because they would know. All right. Now, if you don't, the original release authorized additional uses. If you don't, if you don't get the authorization for additional uses, you don't have any. All right. So there is no additional use. You can't even edit the original video and repost it, right? Because that makes it a new work of art. That makes it, and you end up with a new copyright on that new work of art, right? So it's real important to be careful about that. And that's one that's probably going to get a bunch of people. People will get, they maybe have an authorization to use copyright material, but they violate the authorization. That's going to hurt you. That's still going to get you nailed with a copyright strike, right? And that's a scary one. Here's one I see constantly. I see it all the time, all right? And after this one here is the 5th one, fair use, all right? After this one here, I'm going to give you 2 examples of fair use violations where people were claiming fair use, and I whacked them, okay? So here we go. Fair use, it's okay, all right? I can tell if it's fair use on my own, right? No, you can't. If you think that you can tell what fair use is, if you're going to make a fair use claim and think that you have a fair use claim and you're correct, you're probably wrong. That's scary, okay? There are certain reasons, certain uses that are fair use. You're doing a parody, you're doing a documentary, you're using a certain amount of video or whatever else. There is no magical term. Might be 2 seconds, might be 10 seconds. Maybe you're authorized to use half the film. Who knows? But it depends on the use, depends on the thing, and really a court is going to have to determine whether or not your fair use was fair use or not. You can make a fair use claim of the copywritten material that you used in your video, but good luck to you if somebody says, no, you violated my copyright. It's going to be a strike. You have to prove that it's not, okay? So you're behind the 8 ball already. You're already, fair use is fair use if the court says it's fair use. Let's put it that way. So, if somebody whacks you on a fair use claim, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit hard, all right? So let me give you 2 examples of fair use where I was the person who was complaining that somebody else violated my copyright. The first was on a Yahoo article. Website Yahoo, like Google. I mean, I used to use Yahoo all the time, and then they kind of were messing things up, so I kind of switched over to Google. But while I was using Yahoo, Yahoo also had a program where they would pay people to write articles. They wanted to get new, original, good quality articles, and they would have editors check them out and everything else. Your article had to be submitted for review. Somebody would review your video, and if they authorized your video, your audio, if they approved your article, they would publish your article, and you would start earning some income on your article. So many reads, so many people clicking on ads or whatever, you might make a few dollars on your articles that you had written. And I was actually making a couple of dollars off of my articles that I had written on Yahoo. So I can't remember what the name of the thing was, but so I was making money on that. Well, I found an article on another website, somebody's own website or another website or whatever, where somebody basically taken my entire article from Yahoo and they published it on a different website. Okay, they were claiming fair use. I mean, I immediately contacted them directly, which is pretty much the right thing to do, and say, hey, take down your article. It is a violation of my copyright. You're using my whole article, right? And they're like, nope, fair use. I'm criticizing your article or whatever, so I'm making critical comment on your article. That's fair use. I'm like, no, really, it's not, because you're using my entire article. It's violation of my copyright. So they said, no, they're not going to take it down. So I said, okay, fine. And I filed the Millennium Copyright Violation Act kind of thing, whatever, with their web provider. And the article was poof, gone. It vanished like nobody's business, like it was never written, all right? Because it wasn't. Somebody was trying to rip me off. They were trying to earn some income off of my work. And adding a couple of sentences saying, I disagree with this thing, or I agree with this, or whatever, that's not going to do it. I mean, you're sitting there cold-heartedly ripping me off on something that produces an income for me, just like that other thing where somebody's using material and say, oh, even if I'm not monetizing, it's okay, it's fair use. No, not really. You're ripping me off from my ability to earn income off of my original work that I originally researched, so no, no, that's not. So that one there got yanked off the internet. Another one was on Facebook. There was a Facebook group on there, and it was with law students and everything else. Can't remember the name of the group at the time, but I actually joined the group, and somebody had joined the group, but they had found my website out there too, and I had created original material, study material. It's original, my work of art. I created it from scratch. I actually told people how I created it so they could recreate their own work and make it their own, they could make it their own original work of art, right? So they could do that. But it was a study material package that I made. And I always promise somebody that everybody who's following me on the website, I said, I'm going to give this stuff away for free. I accept donations. If you use my material, you like what you use, that you thought that it provided a value to you, I will gladly accept a donation. And that's where that PayPal Me comes into effect. At the time, I kind of created my own PayPal Me thing, and I put it on my website, and people make donations to the cause. And I greatly appreciate it. It helps keep me motivated to keep helping people out, right? Nothing like throwing a few coins in the tip jar. Right? So anyway, somebody ripped me off, and basically what they did is they copied my entire material. It was a PDF, and I didn't make it where it was something that was copyable. So when they copied and pasted it, it destroyed the formatting of the document. I wasn't too mad that they did it, but I was mad that they said they actually claimed that it was theirs. They actually claimed that they did this, right? So now you're ripping me off and you're lying about it. And then number 2, you destroyed the original format. You didn't even have the class to go ahead and reformat it in the original form so it would be useful to anybody. It was gibberish garbage. So now you're making me look bad too. You're ripping me off from my original work of art, which was fantastic and still is, and then you're claiming it's yours. So I went to the owner of the group and I said, this is a copyright infringement, and if you don't remove it, I'm going to sue you. And they instantly say, no, you can't sue me because I am not responsible for what other people post. And I'm like, well, yeah, you made it. You have to join and be approved to your group. So yeah, you are the gatekeeper and you do have to remove it. So they removed it. And as a matter of fact, that person got hardcore on everybody doing that sort of thing. If they thought anything even came close to violating a copyright, they would just rip it right off of their Facebook group right from scratch. All right. So it's very, very important that we don't use copywritten material unless we have a release and full authorization for the intended purpose that we want to use it for. So if I wanted to use somebody's anthem for copyright infringement prevention, I would have to get a full legally, morally, and ethically correct release, and I would have to use it according to what the agreement is in the release. That becomes a contract for the use of that material, all right? So if we have any material on our channels that is violation of copyright material, it doesn't matter if you're monetized or not. It doesn't matter if you're a YouTube Partner Program member or not. It doesn't matter who you are, what you're doing, where you're doing it. If you're violating somebody else's copyright, it's a copyright strike. It is. It's not even questionable. So if you have something like that on your channel, I highly advise you to, if you want to be a professional, keep on growing, getting the job done every day, every way, legally, morally, and ethically. You get the motivation, the dedication, and determination to get the job done right. Get rid of that stuff. Clean up your act now, because I'm telling you, forget the warning. There is no warning. On copyright, it's a strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. And on strike 1, strike 2, there is no really strike 3. At strike 3, at that point, it's not 1, 2, 3, go. It's 1, 2, gone. Okay? So on strike 3, you are gone. So make sure you don't get in that situation. By the way, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like this video. Make a comment below, let people know that you came by to say hi. Creators helping creators, share information, share your insights with others in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. It's very helpful and I very much appreciate it. Until I catch you in the next video, take care and be well.